So, did you know that not all paper is the same? Well, there is really an art to paper. And today I'm going to share a lot that I've learned about paper that really blew my mind. But before I go into that, I want to remind you you'll catch me here every week on Facebook, on Twitch, on Twitter, the whole 9 yards. I'm here, and my YouTube is MJS Photography. Come there, definitely subscribe, come in, be a part of the family. I'm going to share a bit about my life here in Tokyo, Japan. If you don't know, I'm based in Japan, in Tokyo, and I'll share about my life here and share a photography lesson as well every single week. So today, let's dive right into this. Let's talk about the art of paper, and it is really an art. So I took a workshop, and I had to leave Tokyo and go a few hours away to take a plane, then take a train, then take a bus, then take a taxi to get to this place. But I went to Tokushima, a beautiful area, countryside in Tokyo, beautiful in so many ways. It's famous for the Awagami Festival that happens in August every single year. But I didn't go there for that. I went to the Awagami Factory, which is an amazing place. I had a ball there, but let me show you what happened while I was there. I went to the Awagami Factory, great spot for a workshop, and it was a paper making workshop. Now, this is Japan, so it's not just any paper. I went to learn how to make washi, Japanese paper, the paper they've made the scrolls on for thousands of years. As a matter of fact, washi paper should last 2,000 years. Imagine that. And it comes from the mulberry tree. So this is the bark of the mulberry tree. Day one in this workshop, it begins like this. You have mulberry bark, and you learn how to actually, well, they soak it before you get there, but they go through and show the process of soaking the mulberry bark to make it where you can peel the bark off. You don't actually peel it. You take a knife and you scrape the bark off, but it's soft, so it's easier to take the bark off at that point. But it's quite a process, and you take all the bark off the mulberry tree bark, and you go through this process of cleaning it. And once you take the first series of cleaning done, it goes into a basket, and then it's actually boiled for a while. It goes into water first. You put in water first to soak it again. Then from there, it goes and you boil the bark. And this is quite a process. I have no idea who discovered this way back when, but they did, and they have it down to an art and science. So this is all the bark being boiled to get it just right, to get all impurities out. Then you wash it again. Yes, this is just one of the many steps in making this bark where you can turn it into this beautiful, beautiful paper. So you go through, you clean it again, make sure it's nice and clean. Once you have that, you take it, put it in this basket. You have all of this washi now turning around. And I was curious, okay, now how does this turn into paper? Well, in the old days, they take it and they use wood, like everything in Japan, and you actually hammer it. And this is my first time seeing the process. You take this, now the bark, and as you're hammering it, in that last step, you actually start seeing it change right in front of your eyes. You start seeing for the first time the transformation of this bark becoming this beautiful fiber. Now, I'm taking you through the old-fashioned way of turning it into washi, which is so beautiful to go through and have this process and learn how to make washi, or Japanese paper, beautiful art paper. So these are the machines, all wood, that you learn how to take wood and turn it into another form of wood, paper. And this is what we worked with on these machines, all handmade out of wood. We take it, we put the washi or the fiber into this tub. We put more liquid in there to keep it more like a milky type of substance. You turn that in and you put it all together. You mix it very well, and it becomes very thick almost. You start to see now that this mulberry bark has now changed. As you're mixing it together, you actually see the consistency change, and this is where it becomes fun. So this is one of the forefathers here in the Awagami factory. It's now 8 generations. This family is 8 generations strong into making Japanese paper, making washi. And he teaches you the art of agitation as you put this device in this water and you agitate it just so. And this part is an art because when you do it wrong, it comes out wrong. But when you get it just right, and he shows you exactly the process. And when you see that first dipping of this wooden device into the washi water and see it come out with this consistency, like, wow, this is going to become paper. He takes it over his head, places it on a table, peels it off, and then one by one, you get this washi. Then once you're done with that, it has a drying process. That drying process happens overnight. Now, this takes hours to get here, but I'm going pretty fast through the beautiful process of making this washi at the Awagami factory. You're learning it over days, but when you get to this point, you're like, wow, you see it dry and you actually see paper in front of your eyes. And then you dry it. You dry this paper that you've made with your own hands, and you have your very own washi. Now, this is a factory, and we're there for a workshop. But around us are the actual workers making much bigger sheets of beautiful washi. And I was so blown away watching this process. I loved it. And I do want to go back and do another workshop because I loved it so much. Washi is like nothing else. And this is my own handmade sheets of Japanese washi. Blew my mind. I love this so much. I learned so much watching this process, and I have a new appreciation for Japanese washi. This is the art of paper. Now, if you've seen paper in other ways, there's nothing like washi. The way it feels, the way it looks, the different varieties that you can make. And washi in Japan is used for everything. It's used for making screens. It's used for labels of sake. It's used for, of course, paper for drawing and writing and all types of things. But you see it in every part of life in Japan. And now that I know how it's made, I have a much deeper appreciation for Japanese washi. Now, today, I'm not taking any questions. I'm going right into the lesson because we have a lot to go through. And I want to make sure you get all of this. And today I have a very special surprise for you. So let me first say, if it's your first time here, my name is Matthew Jordan Smith. I've been a professional photographer for over 35 years doing what I love. And I want to share bits about that so you can do more of what you love with photography. I'm also a proud Nikon ambassador. So let's jump into today's lesson. Today, I want to talk about color correction filters, also called CC filters. So when you hear that term, CC filters, it stands for color correction. And color correction filters come in different increments. Now, let's go deeper into color correction and how those filters can enhance your photography. Here's a picture I did years ago, and it's sunset. We all know that golden glow of sunset. And as you can see, the sun is behind my subjects. And I want that same golden glow on them. So I'm using artificial light on the beach, and I want to give that same golden glow. So I'm using a CTO filter. Now, maybe you're wondering what's a CTO filter. It stands for color temperature orange, CTO. There are different types of color correction filters. There's CTO, color correction orange. There's CTS, color correction straw. It's a different type of warming gel. There's also CTB, color correction blue, color temperature blue, CTB, color temperature blue. So I love using the CTO gels. I've tried them all, but I love those CTO gels. And for this shoot, I used a half CTO. So half is half power on the gel. Now, these types of gels, they go over your light, not over your camera, not over the lens, but over your actual light source. Looks very different than putting a lens on a camera. So this is a CTO gel, and this is a half CTO filter on there. Filter, gel, same thing. This is like a gel that you put over your light, CTO. And again, this is a half CTO gel. This is a CTO full gel. It's not diffused at all. It's a full sheet of CTO. It's very dense. And as you can tell, it changes the color. Now, I love using full CTO gels, and I've used them for a long time. So I'm gonna give you a series of several images shot with a full CTO gel. I will say that all these images you're about to see, that you're going through and seeing now, these are all shot on film, because gels on film do look very different than shot digitally. So all these images are film images. I know there's a big revival of people photographing with shooting film. So I want to show film today. This is all film, all shot with gels on the light. This is a full CTO gel. All of these images you've just seen, these last four now, are all full CTO. I've loved working with gels this way for years, and I want to share how you can do the same. Now, again, it does change based on the type of light. We won't get into that today. We'll save that for another day. But in terms of the gel itself, it looks so beautiful when applied the right way and then changed to make your image change and look different than everybody else's image. Now, this is again a CTO gel, full CTO color correction filter that you put over your light. And this is a half. So now I'm going to cut that back to a half CTO. This is shot for a book I did years ago, Men of Color, and I used a half CTO gel for a different type of light. You're seeing a lot of different types of lights throughout today's presentation lesson, but I don't want to go into different lights now, just the gels only. So this one is a light with a gel over it, and this light actually gets hot. So I might put some air in between the light and the gel, but still gives you a great effect and feels like sun at sunset. That's kind of why I fell in love with these types of gels. It feels like that first shot. It feels like sunset at the end of the day. So here's a breakdown of different increments of those CTO, color temperature orange gels. The first one is just a small amount of CTO, a quarter CTO. Next, you have a half CTO, and then again, that full CTO gel. You can even put the half and the quarter together to get like 3/4 CTO if you want to. Totally up to you. Different look altogether, but it's fun working with these gels, and I've used them for years. This shot of Tyra I did years ago was shot with a quarter CTO gel. I think when I was shooting film, I almost never shot without a CTO gel. That's how much I love them. And today as well, when I shoot film, I will put gels over the light because it's a different feeling than shooting like the naked film image. Even this famous shot that I did of the cast from Waiting to Exhale. And this image is in the National Museum for African Americans in the Smithsonian in DC. This image is there. And I shot this image with a quarter CTO color correction filter on it. Now, today I have a gift for you. I told you earlier I had a gift for you. I want to give you a free color correction filter guide because it's hard to understand all the different increments and how they look on each person. So I want to give you a gift. If you go to smartphotofilters.com, you can download my color correction filter guide. This way you'll see exactly what every increment of CTO or CTS or CTB looks like on actual skin. I give you a reference, give you the type of gel used so you can see it for yourself. This is my gift to you today. Just go to smartphotofilters.com. You'll have that for the rest of your life to use. And if you're shooting film, this will definitely be helpful for you as you go through and start shooting with color correction filters. I do love using filters and using my way of showing you guys what I've done for years. This is all about sharing, and I want to give back to you in some kind of way and share what I've done for over 30 years of shooting film. And I've always shot with the CTO gels. Now, you might like a CTS gel more than you like the CTO gels. The straw color does look different, or the blue color does look different. Experiment, have fun, find out what works best for you. I'll be back here again next week with more information on how you can become a better photographer and have fun. And by the way, we'll talk more about that beautiful paper later on as well. That washi paper that I made there in Tokushima, Japan. I'll go deeper into that at another session. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. I've enjoyed this. I hope you have too. Make sure you get your free guide. Go to smartphotofilters.com. That guide is my gift for you. All right, everyone. See you soon.